The building never hit anyone. There is a moment that happens before every scandal, before every headline, before every comment section fills with certainty, and it happens quietly, without witnesses, inside a room where nobody wants to be the first to speak. It is hard to say something about a pastor everyone loves while sitting in a room full of people who have already decided who he is to them. Silence, in that room, is not ignorance, it is self-preservation. But move that same silence onto the internet, and something flips. Suddenly, restraint feels unnecessary, even immoral. Online, people do not speak to be understood, they speak to be justified. Every comment arrives preloaded, not with facts, but with memory. Those who speak for victims often arrive carrying their own unspoken history of harm. Those who call for forgiveness often arrive carrying their own unresolved need to be forgiven. Those who condemn come looking for power. Those who defend come looking for safety. No one shows up empty-handed. Perception is never neutral. A Course in Miracles states that perception is a choice, not a discovery. What is seen is determined by what is wanted. This is why two people can watch the same story and walk away with opposite certainties, both convinced they are seeing the truth. What they are really seeing is themselves. And then comes the blame. The church failed. The church protects abusers. The church is corrupt. But the church, meaning the building, never said a word. It did not judge, forgive, hide, strike, protect, or deceive. It simply stood there, holding whatever meaning was projected onto it. Buildings do not commit violence. Buildings do not cover it up. People do. When blame shifts to the church, something subtle happens. Responsibility dissolves into abstraction. Specific names disappear. Accountability is replaced by atmosphere. It becomes safer to condemn a structure than to question belief. Because questioning belief means asking why authority was trusted in the first place, why a title was mistaken for truth, why salvation was outsourced instead of examined. Most people do not go to church to be transformed. They go to be reassured. They go to hear someone else say what they hope is true. They go to believe that proximity to holiness substitutes for looking at the mind. This is not a religious problem, it is a human one. It is the belief that truth comes from outside. When violence eventually surfaces, everyone reacts after the fact. Condemnation comes late. Forgiveness comes late. Prayer comes late. The ego is always late. It reconstructs the past and calls it understanding. It assembles fragments and calls it justice. It moralizes outcomes instead of questioning causes. A Course in Miracles reminds us that the past does not exist. What people call investigation is often just selective memory arranged to support a conclusion already reached. This is why the internet feels brave, but changes nothing. It allows people to say what they would never risk saying in a room where consequences exist. It offers righteousness without relationship, judgment without exposure, certainty without cost. The result is a cycle that repeats endlessly. A trusted figure, a hidden pattern, a breaking point, a flood of voices, a moral reckoning that arrives too late to prevent anything, then silence again, until the next story. The lesson is not about a pastor or a church or even violence alone. The lesson is about delegation. Delegating authority, delegating discernment, delegating salvation. As long as truth is believed to come from a pulpit, a platform, or a personality, it will always collapse under pressure. Because truth is not mediated. It is recognized. And recognition requires the one thing institutions cannot provide on demand: willingness to look without defense. Until that happens, the building will keep being blamed. The comments will keep coming preloaded. The ego will keep arriving late. And the story will keep repeating, wearing a different name each time, but teaching the same lesson over and over again.